Hey guys, welcome to Cereal at Midnight. My name is Heath, and we are talking about Rick and Morty. There's a lot going on with Rick and Morty. I got two things have happened in the last 24 hours. So one, this shows up in my mailbox. Rick and Morty Season 6 now on Blu-ray, and I'm really grateful that we have Season 6 of Rick and Morty on Blu-ray, because so many of these shows only get DVD releases now, because DVD is the sure thing. It outsells all the other formats. But I'm grateful that Rick and Morty is something that Warner Brothers Home Entertainment believes in for Blu-ray. The other thing is that I woke up to a headline about Justin Roiland, the co-creator of Rick and Morty, the voice of Rick, the voice of Morty, that he's been cleared of all the charges. There's insufficient evidence. Now, if you're like, what are you talking about? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about it in just a second. I should say, because of the... Full disclosure, guys, I've shot this video like 10 times, and I get progressively angrier as the video goes on. So I need to say, I was provided a free copy of Rick and Morty Season 6 by Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. The opinions expressed are my own, and I do have opinions. I'm grateful that, I like this shorter season. This is a 10-episode season, which means that the creators are able to get these seasons turned around more quickly. In the past, it's been... sometimes years in between seasons of Rick and Morty, and it's hard. You look at a show that's been running it's been on about 10 years, but there's not that many episodes. It's a relatively small output compared to what a huge pop culture phenomenon it is. There's not a lot here. Here, there's the front, there's the back. Freeze that if you want to read it. Here's the there's the Blu-ray case. I like this. It's clean. There's no text on it. One disc, 10 episodes. It's like 3.5 hours of content. That's no big deal. It's an Echo case, and there's about 30 minutes of new special features here. But when you break it down, it's not that. It's okay. Well, so exclusive Rick and Morty Inside Season 6. That's the big draw. I guess that's the disc exclusive. It's less than 10 minutes. It's like 9 minutes and change. But they talked to Dan Harmon. It's got some substance to it. He's honest about everything, which is one of the things I love about Dan Harmon. Justin Roiland, I don't believe is anywhere here for reasons we're going to talk about in a second. There are 3 Anatomy of a Scene featurettes that run like 2 minutes and 15 seconds each. And each of the 10 episodes has an Inside the Episode featurette, which run 1.5 minutes to about 2:15. So those are clearly for streaming platforms, for digital platforms, and the big draw for collectors like us, I guess, is that 10 minutes making of the inside the season. I'm thankful that this exists. I appreciate Warner Brothers for sending this. I appreciate them for putting this product out. I guess my bigger problem is with Adult Swim and it's a Warner Brothers company, right? They own Cartoon Network. They own Adult Swim. So, if you haven't been following the news, Justin Roiland, which is smart, by the way, you got to break out of that misery cycle. If you haven't been following the news, Justin Roiland was accused by an ex of, he is, again, the voice of Rick, the voice of Morty, co-creator of the show with Dan Harmon, who had, worked on Community. He had charges were filed against him for abuse, for inappropriate behavior, for abusive behavior towards his ex. The charges were out there for a while, and then as Season 7 is being worked on, Adult Swim fires Justin Roiland from his own creation, saying that they don't want to be associated with, this whole thing. Well, as of this morning, those charges are dropped. There is insufficient evidence for any of it. He said he knew he was innocent all along, and he was really upset at how quickly people took the opposing side without any evidence. And I think he's also talking about Adult Swim there, who just kind of threw him under the bus. Would have been smart of Adult Swim to just kind of wait, hold the season back, see what happens in the legal system, because now we have a man that didn't do anything, has been cleared of any charges, and he has no job. He's separated from his creation. And they are continuing Rick and Morty without Justin Roiland. Now, some people, I've talked about this mostly on Patreon, they were like, yeah, but it'll be okay. Like, they've replaced creators. I can't think of a single example of a show where the co-creator and the major talent behind many of the voices either left or passed away or whatever, and there was no huge impact on the show. I mean, I'm thinking like Jim Henson with the Muppets. Like, you can find somebody else that sounds like Kermit, but there's really only one Kermit, and it was Jim Henson. And all the other characters that he voiced too. Like, you can't take the creative lifeblood out of a show, or half of it, and then so many of the voices, and then the show continued to be the same. So it's a really unfortunate situation, and I'm just honestly really concerned about the future of this show, because it didn't have to be this way. This is not ideal for anybody, and I feel like if the corporate, and now remember, we're not talking about Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. We're talking about the studio. This is the same company that's turning over executives, at a rapid rate, and that is greenlighting all these DC projects and taking a Batgirl movie that they've already made and like, we're not going to put it out. It's that Warner Brothers. But it's Adult Swim. It's not coming directly from Warner Brothers. It's coming from Adult Swim, which is like a subsidiary company, smaller piece of the machine, but still part of the machine. Still part of that huge company. Warner Brothers, at one point, Time Warner, AOL, now it's AT&T, now it's Discovery. Massive. One of the three companies that runs everything. It's just unfortunate that we are so quick to react with negativity than to just wait for more information, see how things play out. I'm concerned. And so that's what this is. This is a Rick and Morty kind of a day. And that's what I'm thinking about. So I wanted to be honest with you guys and see where you stand on it. And we can continue the conversation in the comments below respectfully. We're not going to get anywhere by attacking anybody else. I know these are hot button issues, but I just think I try to look at this from an artistic standpoint, which is that this art exists. It's been building to this. We got 6 seasons. They're working on season 7. I think most of season 7 is done, from what I understand, with Justin Roiland involved. And then the co-creator is out. If you were following Community with Dan Harmon, when he was fired from his job at Community, was it season 4? I can't remember which season it was, but the show is never the same again. And they knew it, and they're like, oh crap. So they bring him back, and it's never the same. The cast is like whatever magic that was is gone. And it's just a shame. I don't want things to go on forever. 6 seasons, 7 seasons, that's a great run, but it didn't have to be this way. And maybe there are talks right now. Maybe Justin Roiland is talking to Adult Swim right now, and they're like, we're so sorry. But based on his press release, he seems pretty upset. So he's moving ahead with his own creations. I guess we'll see what happens from this point forward. But Rick and Morty season 6 exists, and we have it. We can have it in our collections, and nobody can take that away from us. So that's why we do what we do. Guys, thank you so much. Take care. Till next time, I will catch you later.